We are back inside Wisconsin in between segments with the guards, diving deeper into this idea that Wisconsin produces incredible talent all the way down through the system, J.A. Today's top 5 list, your idea, the best athletes to come out of Wisconsin's system, excluding Division I, correct?
Smaller schools, small colleges, smaller universities that were became famous, small school Wisconsin athletes. So, and as I was putting together the top 5, I also told you this is great. I have an 8-way tie for 5th.
Yeah, which I was like, great. I don't stand a chance. I'm just going to be along for the ride on this one.
Okay, so we start with the two guys that helped lead them to the championship game. A couple like Ron Ripley, a Pulaski kid, and you got Tom Anderson, a Southwest kid, right? So they're kind of on my list. They're not quite there yet. I don't know if you football. Remember Matt Turk, the punter, punted till he was like 43.
I do. Yeah.
Right. So Matt Turk, he's a Whitewater guy. He was fantastic. Punted for 16 years from All Pros. He's terrific. He's on the list. Baseball wise, then we got a bunch of guys I put down. You got Damian Miller.
Okay. Yeah.
World Series catcher for the Diamondbacks.
Yep. Remember that?
A bunch of great ones. It was with the Cubs, but he went to Viterbo. Am I saying that right? In lacrosse?
Viterbo.
Yeah, Viterbo. Yeah. So he's from there. Then you had Bob Wickman, Abrams.
Yes.
Pitched for the Yankees, pitched for the Brewers. He was amazing one spring training. He was a decent guy when I was in Phoenix. He was great. He's a Whitewater guy. Jared Washburn for the Angels was terrific. He's Oshkosh. Jordan Zimmerman, who was great in there with the Nationals. He's a Stevens Point guy. So those are the guys. Those are 7. And the other guy that's tied for 5th is a guy named Andrew Rock.
Don't know him.
Why is it when I mention a track and field guy, you always get this quizzical cat-like look on your face? Like, what are you doing when I walk in the house? Guy was a 9-time national champ, 17-time All-American. Dude's got a gold medal.
Okay.
Was part of the 4x400-meter relay team in 2004 that won the gold medal. He ran in the rounds, wasn't in the final, but he's got a gold medal. So Andrew Rock, he's from lacrosse.
So that's all
the
5
guys in 5th.
Yeah,
I don't know how you're going to put this on the screen, but we'll just start at 4. So number 4.
We'll start at 4.
You see if you guess it. So number 4 is another lacrosse track guy. One of the great track guys in lacrosse. Like I think if I have this right, 17-time All-American in track.
Wow.
Played football 1 year, which is good enough to get him drafted. Good enough to let him play for the Green Bay Packers at wide receiver.
I got it.
Who is it?
Billy Schrader.
Bill Schrader.
Yes.
He's number 4. Billy Schrader, UW lacrosse. Don't get fooled by the football. He was a far better track guy than he was a football.
That's awesome. I went to there was a Packer team of basketball players that went around the state and played against local cops and firefighters.
Sure.
Billy Schrader could jump out of the gym. It was ridiculous.
Yeah, I want to say he was at least a 25-foot long jumper. At one time, I think he had 6 school records, but a fantastic track athlete.
That's awesome.
Football 1 year. His 5th year. He was there. He exhausted his track eligibility, went out and, I'll play football.
That's cool.
Okay, so number 3, we talked about great baseball players from UW Oshkosh. If I'm not mistaken, I don't have this written down. He may have played more major league games than anybody that had come from Wisconsin small college town. Brewer great, heydays, 80s, World Series, second base.
Jim Gantner
might have managed in the Northwoods League.
Jim Gantner, Gumby. Yes,
Jimmy
I'm
Gantner's number 3.
That's awesome.
So, and now 2 and 1 were really hard to separate.
Okay,
2 and 1. Number 2, coached the Bucks, helped lead the Portland Trailblazers to an NBA Finals.
Terry Porter. Yep, knew that one. I knew he was going to be on the list. I didn't know if he was going to be number 1 or not, but actually in prep for this, I was saying, Terry Porter's definitely going to make the list. 100%.
Yeah, and if somebody wants to arm wrestle me or argue that he should be 1 as opposed to 2, I'm not getting in that fight. I'll just go, sure. You can make
sure, fine.
Number 1.
Okay.
And this is great, from Tiny Milton College that no longer exists.
No.
Great quarterback for the Seattle Seahawks is Dave Craig.
Oh.
The great Dave Craig, Tiny Milton College, replaced Jim Zorn, threw a ton of touchdown passes to Steve Largent, Really a ton of success. I find his story unique in that not only was he a great NFL player, his college isn't there anymore. It's not even a thing
Gone.
in Tiny Milton College. So
Milton College.
Craig Porter.
That's a good list.
I'm okay to flip them. Jimmy Gantner, Bill Schrader, and then my other 8 that are tied. So, and I'll tell you this, that's humorous because if it ends up on the cutting room floor, that's fine. So Dave Craig, because played for Seattle, naturally, anybody who's ever stepped foot in the city of Seattle is friends with Kenny Mayne.
Kenny Mayne, yeah.
So Kenny calls Dave Craig one night about something, and he goes, by the way, I'm sitting here with John Anderson from Wisconsin, so he knows who you are and probably know where Milton College is. And so Craig's like, now where did you go to school? I said, I went to Green Bay Southwest. He goes, do you know Russ Mann? And I said, well, Russ was ahead of my time. Russ was more my brother's age, 75, 76-ish grad. Russ Mann might have been one of the great athletes in the history of Southwest High. He was the tailback on the football team. He was the shooting guard and had all the points in the basketball team. He was a great track athlete as well. And Dave Craig said, I played with him. He was one of my wide receivers. And to think that this guy who we thought, locally always had the one guy who was great, right? That guy,
sure.
Or the guy in your neighborhood who was super that you thought, wow, if I could be as good as that guy. But that he played with this guy who went up with the NFL and he remembers playing with him is still was staggering. So yeah, here I'm this is the odd part of sports. And I'm sitting there one night and the next thing you know, I'm talking to Dave Craig about Russ Mann, who was a great, great athlete at Green Bay Southwest.
3 degrees of cheese
everywhere, right? It's absurd.
Doesn't matter where you go. All right, back to the guard.
By the way, your brother would have cracked the top 10.
Yeah, he was pretty damn good. It's funny, in his wedding, I was giving a speech about how proud of him I was, winning a national championship at Whitewater, All-American offensive lineman. And one of his guys that was standing up goes, dude, he's on the wall. As in, like, if you walk into Whitewater's locker room, Brady's on the mural. I mean, he is pretty incredible. Yeah, shout out to Whitewater. I had a blast at those games.
Shut up and sit down.